Good morning, Turtle Club. As you can see, we are right here at 8:30 a.m. according to the clock there. And if we just get right into the save menu, you can tell that our Pokédex journey here is showing that we are at 36 Pokemon. And we've only been playing the game for about 7 hours. Of course, we've streamed two of those seven, so 5 hours of just grinding and catching random stuff. For those that are not aware, my name is Mag Synchro with Convertible Turtle Gaming, and this is home for the Galaridays, our December stream series where we're going to, every morning, life permitting, we're going to stream some Pokemon Sword or Shield, and we are going to do what we can. Hey, Sykes, welcome to the chat. And we are approaching some plot here. Now, the rules that we're working off of is anytime that we are off stream, we're just going to do grindy things. That's training up our Pokemon, catching random stuff. And when we're on camera, we're going to step into plot. If we step into any plot while we're off camera, we're going to roll it back. That's why we have to save early, save often. It's also the reason why we have our save settings to manual. Now, I do want to show you guys kind of what we got going on here. So when we left, we had Fire Rabbit somewhere like 14 on his level. And a couple of these other guys were a little bit lower, but we've only gained about 2-3 levels with some of these guys. But we did get some important quote-unquote attacks. Good morning, DB Master. On Fire Rabbit, we actually got Flame Charge, which is great for upping his speed. We replaced Tackle with that because Quick Attack pretty much does what we want the speed to do for Tackle anyways. We still have our Gigamax Meowth. We're just using him for cash farming. Butterfree learned some really important moves. Sleep Powder and Stun Spore. Both of those are going to be used for when we capture some higher level Pokemon until we can potentially luck into a Ralts or a Gallade. Preferably Gallade because it'll learn Hypnosis as well as False Swipe, which make capturing so many Pokemon so much easier. This is the Pikachu that we're about to put into the box. This is the Gigantamax Pikachu. Not really good for single play, to be honest. If you're looking at, versus mode, it's the better of the Pikachu lines because its G-Max move is a guaranteed paralyze on hit. So it's like Nuzzle, but it's G-Maxed instead. And because it's like Nuzzle, and not like something like Electro Ball or Thunderbolt or something along those lines, it also does a considerably less amount of damage to the defending Pokemon. So in single play, for the raids, you really don't have to worry about statting stuff. You just got to knock it out and then put it in the ball. Purloin right now doesn't have any of our dark moves that we're hoping to get, but we still have quite a ways to go before we really need to have those dark moves in rotation. And this is the Pikachu we'll be going with. Notice it has very little different between the other Pikachu except for it doesn't have the Gigantamax X in its name. So that's the team. And we're about to head over to some plot here. Oh, Sonia, hey, Mag Synchro, come over this way. We shall do exactly what she is asking us. Track around your Pokemon Ragged, should pop into Pokemon Center. There's some stuff you should see in here. And this is some cosmetic plot, as I call it. So she's going to tell us about the league cards here. And the league cards are a collectible. I don't believe they have any main function in the game, but I could be wrong. If anyone does know that there's some sort of gating involving with the league cards, let me know. And if you're watching this on replay, just let me know in the comments or drop me a line on the Discord, guys. Motostoke sure is big, yep. We're going to heal our Pokemon. She's going to give us a grandiose tour. And guys, this is probably the most phoned in tour I've ever seen. Just a warning up front. So, heal our Pokemon. Good. Alright, so here we go into the box. Now, we're going to check our boxes. Now, like before, we're going to be using the one box to store everything that we catch as much as we can. in between streams. All I did, guys, for the most part, except for a couple of wayward Pokemon here, like this Vulpix and this Combi, every fight we went into in the last hour or so of gameplay we've done has been Dynamax. And that is by design. It lets us. Oh, yeah, thank you. Thank you. The Honedge I just got right before coming in onto the stream. And I've actually already used it in 2 fights for Dynamaxing because it has that wonderful ghost move, that Shadow Sneak. It's good for fighting things like Muna. If you need to have something that can hurt Psychic and your typing's a little worse for wear. And it, it does pretty good. Does pretty good. We'll probably be leveling that up once we pass the Fire Gym, I would expect. It has Fury Cutter though. You know, that's a that's a valid point. Since it has Fury Cutter and Aerial Ace, I think we're going to change it out for this Gigantamax Pikachu. Now, the Gigamaxes we're going to put in their own box. We're going to dump that over in box 24 for now. And we're going to grab all of box 1. Oh, this right here was an actual EV raid that was kind of cool too. Hey, Shadow, how's it going? Shadow Sneak, yes. Shadow Sneak, Shadow Peak, and Shadow have hopefully a great week. So that's pretty much all we accomplished in there. Now, if you look, we mentioned on like the 2 raid battles we did, of all the stuff that you get from these raids. Now, I mean, look at our berries, where we had like 3 or 4 berries. Now we have a truckload of them. And if you look over here in our restoration items, we got a couple. Meowth picks up a few, of course, because that's what Meowth does. But we got a couple also from other things. And look at all the TMs and the TRs. Now, those that are familiar with Pokemon may not know what TRs are. Those that aren't familiar with Pokemon may not know what TMs are. So we're going to do a quick sort here by number, which should segregate the TMs from the TRs. So the TMs go up top, the TRs go down bottom. They technically have because it's alphabetical, guys, it's mainly the reason why it does that. TM comes before TR in the alphabet. TMs are training machines. They're basically compact discs, CDs by the icon if you look at them. These can be used multiple times to teach a Pokemon a move, in any Pokemon. Like all these Pokemon could learn Swift. Purloin could learn Payback, and we really would like to do that because Purloin does not have a dark move. This kind of helps us cheat in a dark move faster than what Purloin could learn it. And we're not really looking for using Growl in this particular game at the moment. TJX Gaming 10YT, hello. So we're going to put Payback on Purloin, so now we got some same type attack bonus, or what's called Stab, for when Purloin uses that move. Gets a little bit of an extra bit of damage when they use it. Back to what we were looking here, though, to kind of give you guys an idea of how good the raids are. These are all pieces that we picked up from raids. Always wondered why they're CDs. They're because they can be used multiple times. And CDs versus a TR, which can only be used once, the TRs are actual records. And they're more fragile. In real life, if you got like a phonograph record or a wax record or whatever type of record you got, those are a bit more fragile. They can melt way faster than a CD can, and they can get scratched up far worse than a CD can. Matter of fact, if you have a record player, you're technically putting a needle on the groove to vibrate over the actual track on the record to reproduce a sound. And if you move it or bump it or damage it in any way, shape, or form, it can actually damage the record. So just the act of playing a record puts it at risk. So that's the reason why these are like one shot, one use kind of things. But right here is all of the wealth items, the treasure items in the game that we got from just the raids. If you'll recall, we got 2 nuggets on the last stream, so everything else here we've gotten just from wandering around and beating up on stuff. We're not going to sell any of this right now, though. And the reason why is because later in the game, you will find an actual vendor who is more than willing to buy these items at a considerable markup. I want to say it's 3 times the cost in most cases of what a normal vendor would buy it for.
What are we talking about?
The vendor, Digrat,
Oh, well, do you have a big mushroom?
I have a big mushroom on me, but I don't know what it sells for. But we can get all this menu in a few moments. And we got some food that we actually bought from a vendor for some Poké Dollars. And this is all the stuff that we already know that we have anyways. So let's go ahead and close all that out. We're going to go talk to this vendor real quick because we do need to buy our Pokeballs. And again, when we buy Pokeballs, even though our OCD wants us to buy them to where there's a nice even number, we're going to buy them in tens and not in odd numbers or even numbers beyond the tens because we get the 3 Premier Balls and it just makes financial sense. Potions we use a little bit while we're out on the road, so we're going to buy them up to a solid 10. That's what we want to do with the Pokeballs, but we can't bring ourselves to do it. All right, so we're going to sell, and we're going to take a look at what these big mushrooms sell for. So big mushroom sells for 2,500. And according to Digrat, he buys these for 30,000.
Or he bought it from me for 30,000.
Well, Digrat saying that it may be a Digrat only promotion for 30,000, but we don't know. But so 30,000 or 2,500. So if I can be patient and not all of a sudden find myself needing the cash fast, this is going to pay huge dividends by just keeping these around in our bag. This is our secondary vendor in this particular Pokemon, and they sell special items. In this case, particular types of balls and particular one-time use stat modifiers. All right, so we're done there. We're going to do what we normally do by talking to people. If you've got a Bunnelby, would you like to trade it for my Squovit? Well, we technically have a Bunnelby. I'm pretty certain. We do. We have a Dynamax Bunnelby. Um, they're awfully easy to get according to Digrat, and this one has pickup, which we don't really need too much because we have the Meowth. So,
well, I don't know about Dynamax Bunnelbees, but you could go get a regular Bunnelbee to trade with this one.
so we'll definitely trade this and get one of our first ones there. Kind of useless trade since they're both common. Yes and no. So here's the thing with trading. Trading changes the trainer ID. So it's not exactly a useless trade because getting Cheekers in this case gets you a Pokemon that doesn't have your trainer ID, which means for the daily lotto you have 1 extra chance of winning. Doesn't seem like all that much until you realize what the top tier prizes on that are all much, much better than the Moo Moo Milk you get for just once. And these guys are just talking about stuff that's normal. So we do have to, let's go ahead and go here, check the boxes, because I want to take Cheekers, and we're going to put Cheekers in box 23, and we're going to change this name to Lotto. And the reason why we're changing that, so we know the reason why we have these odd Pokemon. Typically, if you do surprise trade, 4 out of 5 times you're going to wind up with a name that's not English, which is a pretty good indication that you have that because it's belonged to somebody else. And we're going to go ahead and name this Gigamax just to get ahead of me forgetting what things are. Because anytime we get the special Pokemon, we want to have a place to kind of put them off so we'll know that they're just kind of cool. All right. And that's it for the Pokemon Center here. We're going to go out. We're going to get ambushed by a plot once we go the other direction. So first we're going to go ahead and pick up this nugget. And this guy is going to be like talking about just random stuff, but these guys won't let us pass. So that's as far as we can go and avoid the plot at the moment. All right, Sonia, show us what you want to show us. Yes, Gmax Snorlax is out and about now. I've seen a couple people actually going after one. I did see a streamer last night who managed to get a shiny Gmax Snorlax, which doesn't do anything for the color palette when it Gmaxes, but, you know, everywhere else is a little different. The luck on that is quite astronomical. Unless you've seen Austin or Austin John Plays, he's found a way already to exploit some of the mechanics in this game to farm particular Pokemon and even shiny Pokemon in the stadiums, which is kind of disappointing, but once you understand the premise behind it as far as why it does what it does, it's kind of like a no-brainer. All right, so we're going to go down here. We're going to explore the city, guys. We're going to step into a little bit of plot. Found us a Pokeball. Talk to these guys. They're not going to do anything for us so much. And like I said, guys, it was a really phoned in tour. She pointed at the elevator and said, take the elevator. All right. Hey, Keo, good morning to you.
Hey.
Yes, Dick, it is Steve. All right, so this is one of the, I don't want to say more important, but fairly important things that if you're playing Pokemon on a daily basis and you only have a few minutes per day. Actually, we forgot to do our league card, but we have a league card, which is all that's important. It's very generic and plain right now. But if you only have a few minutes a day, you want to get a battle in, this is one of the best places to go. Steve says hello, Digrat. She gave a thumbs up. All right, so this is the Battle Cafe. It's returning from several other Pokemon games where you'd go in, you'd get to play daily, and you'd get a treat at the end. If I believe X and Y was where it was last, and it's a very similar premise, but it's mainly for, from what I've been able to find, primarily for evolving Milceries. Yep, gave the thumbs up there, Keo. Ooh, this is a different Pokemon than what's normally there. Look at that, it's a Combi. Alright, well, we'll just set it on fire. Sometimes it's a double battle, sometimes it's a single battle. I've not been able to figure out what really determines what. That's why I grabbed that Hone Edge and put it up front, along with Fire Rabbit. Delicate, sweet taste for you. Yep. We get a little bit of money. And treat as promised, rare candy. So, not really good for evolving a Milcery, but there are sweets that the Milcery can use to evolve, and this is the primary way to get it from what I've seen. Alright, so we've pretty much talked to everybody there. So again, if you're only popping in for once per day, you get some good experience, you get some good cash, and you get a potential rare evolution item. Alright, what else we got here? This guy gives us a TR, if I recall. TR 13th Focus Energy. And he talks about stuff being vintage, if I remember right. Yep. It's extra old school because they break after one use, and that is a total Easter egg throwback to the original Pokemon games, guys. TMs used to just break after you used them, and they didn't even have an icon back then. It just had the letters. Something good happen? I don't even know why he's asking that. Uniform numbers, guys. We get to choose one in a little bit. Haven't slept yet since you got to leave soon to head to the college campus to get classes organized. Ooh. Well, hopefully your drive's not that bad, Keo, because you've been up for quite a number of hours. This is a record store or a bookstore. I've not been able to figure out how to get inside them yet. They may only have things to do on certain days. I haven't figured that part out on any of the playthroughs I've done yet. Steam power, yes. All right, we're not getting to there yet. We're trying to avoid some plot for a little bit. All right, this is something that's confused a lot of people, and myself included. I had to read up on it, so I'll let you guys in a secret. This particular NPC gives you these high-tech earbuds. What they are is a setting in your options menu. You get them in your key items pocket. Apparently, this was kind of like an afterthought after the game was well programmed. Some of the feedback that they got from the Pokemon Let's Go series was the volume and the audio mix was just really bad. Getting this particular item gives you 3 audio options. Now, since we're streaming through this system, we're not going to touch these. I've heard the playback on the streams. Everything seems to be good. It's going through HDMI, so that really doesn't affect everything. But if you are using headphones, either in portable mode or with the controller that I've got, there's actually a headphone port. This will let you be able to hear the Pokemon when they cry, make the background music not want to make your skull split in half, and make the sound effects a lot more manageable. So that's what the high-tech earbuds are. All they do is they give you those 3 options. And if you're playing with headphones, they're a welcome option choice. And that's it for this little starting spot as far as we can go right now. So let's go ahead and step into some plot here. And Grar, that's the sound the Charizard makes. And lands with Leon beside him. Alright. So for someone who gets lost, really feeling it after 9.5 hour shift, yeah, I trust me, Keo. I definitely understand.
Welcome to college, Keo. Sleeping is in your past.
I don't know if you heard Dig right or not, but she says, "Welcome to college, Keo. Sleeping is in your past." And that's not entirely untrue. I remember my college years. I probably slept 5 hours a day on a good day.
Especially if you have to work, like us regular folks.
Yes, us regular folks absolutely have to work while going to college. Got that piece of charcoal. I guess we can give it to Score Bunny. Because, why not? Fire a rabbit, give you this held item. Alright, let's go here. Where is it? There it is. And let's go ahead and just get these new item marks off of here. Alright, so now Score Bunny's got the piece of charcoal, be able to burn stuff. So we are on the second platform here. We get to talk to the Pokeball guy. He's kind of cool. He gives you new different types of Pokeballs. An interesting thing that he does as well is the acorn balls from the gold, silver, crystal generation that you used to get from Kurt are actually given to you at various stages by this dude. Oh, we stepped into some more plot. The fact you haven't slept is the issue versus just getting a little bit of sleep. Yeah, that's definitely kind of where I'm at too. I woke up a little bit early, and about 6 o'clock or so, it just kind of hit me that I'd woken up early. Alright, we're going to let Hop go in there and introduce himself and do whatever he wants to begin with. We're still going to do some exploration here, as much as we can at the moment. So this is the new system of Pokemon travel It's a Corvus Squire or Corvus Knight. I think that's actually what it is. We'll get into that in a little bit once we get through the stadium situation here. Opening ceremony. So it's kind of like an Olympic kind of trial, and here's more people talking, kind of being pushy, kind of being shovey. So if you'll notice, this game does do the hand-holdy tutorial, gating, fencing sort of thing at times. It can't be helped in a linear type RPG like this, no matter how much we want it to. It tries to be open world. It does a real good condition of being open world a little bit. But, you know, like anything else, it can only go so far. True, Keo. I'm glad that you got to stop by. Drive safe and be careful. You know, that's a possibility, Sykes. You know, the next time we see Leon walking around, we might have to take a look at Escape to see if there's a Kurt-like logo on it. I know the Game Freak logo is on it, which is, you know, kind of interesting. Um, you know, the guys who made the game decided they had to plaster the logo just about everywhere. Of course, here's all the badge types for the gyms. Now, I do have a minor complaint about this. Now, these are supposed to be all the league banners, and I really hope some sort of like weird DLC or something comes along that allows you to change these gems, or maybe like a DLC mission system to where you get to fight more gems comes out. Because technically, you know, there's a possibility of 18 separate gems, one per each type. This game has 8, and the other game has 8. Technically, 6 of them overlap on both, so there's a total of 10 gems, which means there's 8 types of Pokemon that aren't really being truly represented with a gem. And I would love to see those remaining 8 get represented. So there's a sword and a shield, right? Maybe somehow we get a third Pokemon game in this series, which it's been a while since we had one. I think the last time that we had a third Pokemon series was Emerald, right? I could be wrong on that, but I don't seem to remember Diamond and Pearl having a third one. I know Black and White didn't have one, though a Gray was rumored at times. Hop's story is so odd. Um, can't really help but feel good and bad for the guy at the same time. Platinum? Okay, so there was a Pokemon Platinum. So Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. All right. I thought there was, but wasn't 100% sold on that because I did not play Diamond and Pearl all the way to completion. I have a copy of it floating around somewhere. Oh, we get to choose our gym. Bang. We're going to go with Mag Synchro's lucky number 13 here. So yeah, we haven't had one since Platinum though. I mean, we've had X and Y, we've had Alpha and Omega, we've had Sun and Moon, right? And we've had Black and White. So we're about due a third one. I mean, technically, Let's Go could have had a third one too. I don't know who you would have put in. I mean, Let's Go Mew. I would have played the snot out of that, to be honest. Start the game with a Mew. Gobsmacked by all this. I like how this game basically points out this person is important because you don't get to know what their name is, and we're telling you that you don't get to know what their name is. You have to guess. Meanwhile, go and talk to this guy. You don't even get to know what his name is, and the fact that he doesn't get to tell you what his name is. So figure that one out. Kind of a interesting design challenge for Nintendo to clean that up later, maybe. I'm pretty certain no matter who we talk to here, nothing changes. Actually, we can talk to this person here. So of all these people, right, there's only 2 of them that have the question marks when you talk to them. So, spoiler alert, they are important people. All right, Motostoke. All right, and I think we're able to venture out a little bit further now. Here we go. Now this is one of the most amazing things as a Gen 1 person. Actually, no, we're not quite there yet. We still gotta sleep and all that stuff. So here we come over here, talk to this dude. Motostoke Hotel. The Bodoo Inn. Bodoo Inn, yep. Like the Pokemon. Now, we would presume that the lettering on here spells Bodoo Inn. And if that's true, we can at least figure out, I mean, it's a possibility. I mean, these last little set here looks like 3 letters. I know some people have been trying to figure out what the script is, but it changes based upon the language your game's in, supposedly. Now we can actually get away from some of this plot, though, and start talking to some people. Secret hideout. They want to make a new gym, but this kid's got a problem. As soon as we can talk to him. His Minccino's gone. You chose 722 as your number, which is Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door's Japanese release date, your favorite game. Yes, we've talked about that, DB Master. We will help look for Minccino. I have not yet played that game. It looks amazing. Morp, yeah. Unleash an amazing hyper beam. You have fun with that guy. So I know exactly where this Minccino is. So for those of you that may not know or don't have access to Google or the desire to Google when you are looking for things, I went around walking around here. There's Morp. Use the whistle. And out of nowhere, it's Minccino. Yeah, Morp. It's the best noise, right? Now he went back to the boy. So when I first did this, and I'm sure Digrat thought the same thing, this was about to be an escort quest. And escort quests are probably one of the worst things you can do to somebody in an RPG. But Nintendo making this game one of the best in the series, in my opinion, with how casual-fied it is, without being hand-holdy, and without being just a constant tutorial of just evil. Managed to do some cool things, like this Minccino knew exactly where it needed to go. Didn't need you to go anywhere with it. And we get a bottle of throat spray. Now, this is a neat item. Raises the special attack when a Pokemon uses a sound-based move. Any of the sound-based moves. So, like, Sing counts. Which is amazing. Well, Sing is a sound-based move, though. So when you put something to sleep with Sing Digrat, it boosts your attack stat for when you decide to sucker punch it right afterwards. And that's kind of the way that kind of works. Can't go through this door. I haven't figured out what's determined which doors you can and can't go through.
I know.
What's that?
If they program something to be behind the door.
Oh, Digrat with the smart comments. Providing they've programmed something behind the door is what makes you be able to go through it. That's valid. That's valid. Pokemon are good at some things, people are good at others, and this is kind of talking about Pokejobs. And Pokejobs are a new mechanic, and we can get into that for a little bit because this stream, guys, is going to be a lot of plot and kind of wandering around as we get everything in Motostoke done. That is super specific. It is super specific, um, but there are some interesting builds you can do with that, especially if you've got a fast Pokemon with Sing on it, and with you can basically turn it into a very devastating special sweeper. Um, Start off with Sing, boost the special attack, knock the Pokemon out if you've got stab bonus, and then afterwards just kind of roll through the rest of their team. So let's back out of this for a second. So jobs. Jobs are going to basically require you to send some Pokemon away for a while. It's recommended there not be Pokemon that you're going to be actively using. So if you know that your next gym is a certain type, don't be silly and use your next type advantage. Like we know for a fact, because we've played this several times before, that our first gym is going to be grass type. So if we had a grass type needed job, we wouldn't be wanting to send the grass type Pokemon on that, or the fire type rather, or flying type. Now, here they'll describe kind of what they're looking for and how difficult the job may be or how much experience you get for it. They're wanting normal type, so we're going to take the job offer. And we're going to look for some normal types that we may decide that we want to play with, like Eevee is definitely a good choice. And that's something that Digrat just did mention. We'll show that off in just a second. It's definitely a really good option, in my opinion, as well. We're going to... All right, so you saw how we just had to go through everything, but what we can do is go to search, go to type, choose normal, and then just confirm that, and hit the search button. And now all of our normal types are going to be highlighted. So we did have somebody mention that we probably wanted a Zigzagoon. I have done fine without it, but you know, we do need to level it up. So if we're not going to be actively using some Pokemon, we can definitely go ahead and throw them through the job grinder and get them some experience. You get to then choose how long you send the Pokemon. Whole day means just that, 24 hours from now. So we will not be able to actually check the status of these guys until this time on stream tomorrow. So we're going to send them out for the whole day. You can do half day, you can do quarter day. I believe the least amount of time is like a full hour's time. Pokemon want to do the work, they'll do their best, and they're sent. Now you can actually call them back, but why would you want to do that right now? And we don't need... A valid point. If you make a mistake and send somebody accidentally away, what Digger just informed me, you can cancel it just to get them back. So that's kind of a nice little fail-safe in case you picked the wrong ones and then said yes by accident. Oh, that's true. If you had no idea what your next gym was and you had to abort, that's true as well. All right, so this is more just... You can't go any further than that. Down here, the first time I played this, the first save file on Shield that I had, I didn't even realize that this was a section of this city. Not just that, but down here, talk to this guy here. That's the Hyper Beamy. All right, right through here is this really interesting post-game plot, I'm guessing. I've not looked into it yet, but it's a long, long way. Look at this, guys. Turtle Club, check this out. We go all the way down here. I mean, it's a lot of coverage. And all sorts of crates. Oh, a fishing spot. That's something we do real quick. Find us a Magikarp. Yup, carp. As soon as we unlock some more jobs, we'll definitely be sending a Magikarp out on that. Let's just double kick this guy. He ain't too dangerous. one of the games, his Pokédex entry seriously says that he is the most useless Pokemon ever. And that's debatable. Yeah, there's an actual video out there, guys, of a streamer who beat Leon with Magikarp. There's even a further insult to injury video, Digrat, that I hadn't mentioned to you yet, where a person competitively um, brought a Magikarp on his team, and the whole team was set up to boost the Magikarp to where it would take out their team. It was amazing. Payday! That is a great move that our Meowth knows. And then we have this NPC here. Mysterious. Please come back when you become the champion. Who knows what he's going to do for us? I think it's a 5 or 10% chance. Hey, Charles, how's it going, man? You can catch Barboach here. Yes, you can catch Barboach here. You can catch Barboach. You can technically catch him also, I want to say, Holberry, I think. But I'll probably be grinding for a Barboach off camera in this area. Shouldn't take more than probably 40 casts. Alright, so back to exploring the town here a little bit more. You haven't gone back to... See, I haven't beaten the game entirely yet, so I've got to definitely put that on my list of things to do. But I am definitely curious as to what he does. Really don't get tired of doing the things you love. That's very true. We can play with our Pokemon here. It'd be neat if you could do something with the hopscotch. But alas, all you get to see is this cute little Wynut just jump back and forth. Which is, not too bad. I mean, the animation kind of makes up for some stuff. And here we go. Here is a train station, which train stations are kind of good for one thing and one thing only. And it's not that guy. It's not really the train person. It's not even the guy here that gives you places to go or things to do with the Poke Center. I mean, it's nice to be able to get access to this. Some of the NPCs, not really as important as what I'm going to show you guys. We have access to the vending machine. The vending machine is the best thing about the train stations. In previous generations of Pokemon, there's only one or two places that you could access a vending machine to get some of the wonderful healing items there are. And case in point, Lemonade, 350 Poke, one of the cheapest hit point to Poke ratios. And they've even done a slight quality of life improvement to where you can simply say, buy more. And you can buy them still at one at a time, which is sad. But if you don't mind giving up a little bit of your time, you can save a whole lot of money. Just to kind of give you an idea, the potions, as you're aware, they cost 200 for 20 hit points. So let's back out for a second, because this is going to be apples to apples. Yeah, limited time, absolutely, absolutely. So fresh water, it costs 200 also. So we go to our bag, go to our restorative, and go down here to, so potion heals 20 hit points, fresh water heals 30 hit points. So you're getting 50% more. Now, if you look here, we have a super potion, which heals 60, and lemonade, which heals 70. Now, super potion also is in the 350 range. Lemonade heals 350 as well for 10 more. So in the lower part of the game, when you're looking at freshwater versus potion, it's a huge boon. In the later part of the game, it's 10 hit points different, but still, every hit point counts. The only thing that's better is a hyper potion, and there is no vending machine equivalent, unfortunately. I would buy those if they had them, though. So we're just going to keep a couple lemonades just in case. So the next thing we're running into is the second lift, which I find really interesting because they didn't really have to do that. They didn't. I mean, you could have been fine with just the one lift. And just a few more people to talk to, and then we're going to go to the hotel guys. So two of the stores we hadn't shown off yet was the second clothing place and the haircut style salon. No real need to go into those here at this moment. We'll do some cosmetic stuff on tomorrow morning stream. Uh, we do have a uniform shop though. Depending upon your game is which uniforms will be purchasable through here. In each of these shops, there's a total of 10 uniforms that are purchasable. And those uniforms will be the ones that are not available through your trainer battles. Alright, so all we got left here is to come here and find some things that glitter. Revival herb. And the herb items, some people swear by them. The bitter foods, they do make your happiness with your Pokemon go down. There are some Pokemon that their movesets and their type and everything works a lot better if they dislike you versus like you. That's not really my playstyle though, so I usually don't use the bitter herbs. Some great balls, which will come in handy when we gotta catch some stuff. That's a little bit bigger than our punching weight. Alright. But I think that completes the Galaridays Motostoke tour. We've hit both Pokemon Centers. We've hit the sweet shop. Here's the salon. Here is the clothing store. We'll pop in there just for a second to show you that, yes, in fact, whoa, that's right, we missed it. My apologies, guys. If you come here before Leon puts you on the elevator, you'll find Sonia right here. And she'll be shopping, and she'll ask you if you're done. And it doesn't matter what you do, she's not leaving that spot. She came here to shop, and so she's going to shop until Leon gets you where you got to go. What's funny, though, is even though she spends the whole entire time shopping, when you meet her later, still the same outfit. No change in clothing whatsoever. Makes you wonder what she bought. My guess, probably socks. Alright, so here we go, guys, into the Plot Hotel. We can check out anytime we'd like, but we can't leave at the moment. And here comes a big piece of the plot on this, guys. Is the legendary story. Every Pokemon game has a story of some sort of legendary fight or legendary battle, and this is the one for this one. So since we are plot bound and plot focused on today's stream, we're gonna go the long way on this one, guys. So long ago, the storm covered the Galar region called the Darkest Day. Huge Pokemon come out, and then a single person had a sword and a shield and took it all down. Statue's meant supposed to be for that guy. We don't know what the sword is, we don't know what the shield has, we don't know what the storms are. We really have no clue what happened. I'm, of course, paraphrasing what she's saying, but that's the way most legends go, right? We know kind of what happened, but we don't know really what happened. Storm, shields, all that. And we'll be concerned. Will you be alright? Of course she will. She'll muddle through somehow. Don't us worry. We won't worry at all. So now it's time for us to check in. Which means more plot. Digret is not plot friendly, guys. We're going to bypass a little bit of this plot for a second, just to show that you can, in fact, not talk to any of these people downstairs first, and you can actually come and talk to all these people upstairs. Anytime that you have a way to sneak around stuff like this, I have a habit, because I'm just an old school guy about this stuff. If I can talk to NPCs in multi-stages, I'm going to try to do that, because you never know how ornery the developers might have been. And Charizard Post is the best too. This would have been a good place for them to tell you about the Charizard Post, because you can do the Charizard pose by rotating your thumbstick and then getting that spin and letting go. Milcery actually requires you to do the Charizard pose to evolve, so explaining that would have been nice. But, you know, missed opportunities and whatnot. Star pieces. Here, you can have a star piece. They sell for a couple thousand until you find the treasure guy, and then they sell for a lot more thousand. If you talk to this guy, he tells you what he's done with his. He's got his eyes on some new clothes, a new hat already for some star pieces. And, you know, you could get a couple of the entry-level stuff. I don't think there's anything else usable in here. No. Alright, we got one more room to go in, and then we're going to step all inside of sort of plots. Nobody in this room, which tells me that eventually we need to come back in this room, because it's there for some reason. Developers don't code all the requirements and make a door work without needing to go through that door at some point to do something. Oh no, did the stream die? No, not that I've noticed. Now I'm live on my iPad still. Of course, if you can't see that, let me go ahead and just reply in the chat room there for you. Team Yell, being all Team Yell like. And now we get some plot. I'm up for that. I'm here to stop you guys. Here comes Team Yell with their Vuvuzelas. If you don't remember the Vuvuzela menace from the World Cup a few years back, then probably don't watch soccer as all. Team Yell Grunt. Here comes the Zigzagoon. And I like how the Pokemon trainers in here actually have different colored Pokeballs for their Pokemon. That's a nice little change that they did for this one. Alright, we're going to go ahead and kick Zigzagoon in the head. And it's going to be knocked out. Oh, we critted on top of that. That was unfortunate for Ziggy. Looking for a fight and you lost. He's so pathetic. Ah. In every fight, someone has to win and someone has to lose. It doesn't necessarily make you pathetic. A lovely battle in a lobby. Well, what could be better than a lovely battle in a lobby is, I don't know. Maybe getting to your hotel room so you can sleep and unpack. Another double kick. And again, Score Bunny just showing off how superior it was as a choice for the early part of the game. Has the fighting move, has the fire move, so this first little portion of the game, Score Bunny really shines. Now, later in the game, it's really all about Grookey because you get a lot of really good moves with him there. And Sobble's not bad. Sobble's pretty good for competitive play. So they got kind of like the leg up and the end game, and then and then Grookey, and then Sobble. Now, Sobble of course can learn, I think, one or two ice moves, which makes him pretty good for the last gem. That's about it. And when the first time I came through and fought this, after going through the wild zone, one of the random vendors in the wild zone wanted to sell me Surf for 5,000 watts. I kind of turned it down because I was like, I don't think I want to do that. I sort of was disappointed that I didn't get it because realistically speaking, it would have made this fight so much easier just to surf them away, since Surf does hit multiple targets. And Sykes, sorry to hear that your internet was acting up. I feel your pain. I truly do. I'm hoping most of the internet issues that we've been experiencing off and on in the Turtle Cave is going to be somewhat fixed. We're going to be talking to our ISP on Saturday this week and replacing some of our equipment. That does mean, of course, that Saturday possibility of no streams that day, guys. Kicked Zigzagoon in the head, and Zigzagoon faints as well. It's amazing how much, if you boot somebody in the head, that they just go down like a sack of potatoes. Alright. Want some money, got some cash. Alrighty. And here is the question mark person again. Marnie. And Marnie's like trademark Pokemon that she's got with her is awesome. Its special Pokemon ability it gets, guys, is called Hangry, if I remember correctly.
That sounds like my Pokemon ability.
Oh, Digrat. Hangry makes the Pokemon change types, actually. It goes from like electric to dark. And then it goes from dark back to electric. Marnie's an interesting kind of character. Sort of the dark horse, as it were. They tend to get a bit shirty with other gym challengers. Once again, the British slang is real in this game, guys. Alright, here we are. We're here to check in. Take care of those hooligans. Because they're the hooligans. The next morning, Hop practicing his Pokeball throw. And honestly, there is one little thing that they did kind of here, which is kind of neat. So Hop, they could have just automatically put you into the gym challenge, but we get this nice little kind of moment here. Oops. I sort of skipped it. Actually, I may be getting a little bit ahead of myself. I think if you... Yeah, we got to actually go into the gym challenge first. We're going to go through this really cool cutscene, and then we're going to be calling it, guys. Step into just a little bit more plot. Need you to get changed as well. This happens for every gym challenge, which I think is kind of a neat way to tie the story a little bit cohesively from a graphical point of view. Here we are in my little uniform with my number. It's kind of cool. You get to have your number on your back at all times. Though you can't change your uniform from what I can tell. There's like a challenger's uniform, and then there's all the type uniforms. So here we go. Again, it's like a opening scene for the Olympics or something similar to that. I believe Bundle Zyga and all that has something similar in Europe when they're doing their soccer promotions and showing off the teams instead of it being what this is, though. They go a bit more extravagant with it. But here we are. The moments that the game's been telling us that we've been waiting for. The Gym Challenge. And this kind of lets you know sort of a taste of things to come as well. I could kind of see future Pokemon games sort of doing something similar to this as well. I kind of like the way it played out from just like a storyline perspective. And here we can see 7 gym trainers coming out in their outfits and telling you who they are. The grass type expert Milo, the raging wave Nessa, water types, play on Nessie of course. Fire type Kabu, the first 3 trainers you fight in the order you fight them. The fighting type B, now that's going to be our 4th gym. Fairy type user Opal is going to be our 5th gym. The rock type gym is going to be our 6th gym. And last but not least, the Tamer of Dragons, Rayhan. Now, there's a 7th gem that's not being shown here. There's plot reasons for that. So we won't spoil any of that, but the fact we get to see what they are, we get to know what their types are. We know that there's somewhere in the middle of these is a mysterious gym leader. And then here we go, walking onto the pitch. Along with the rest of the Gym Challenge hopefuls. And then, of course, everybody leaves the stadium from the little participant doors. We all change out of our gym clothes into our regular clothes. And just a little bit more plot to step into. Rose, of course, still, I'm not 100% sold that he's a good guy, but he could be. He could just be ditzy. He's always disappearing, always just conveniently leaving the scene. So we're going to go to Route 3 for Turffield. So that's going to be what we're going to be doing tomorrow, guys. We are got one last little piece of plot. If I recall correctly. And here we go. This is what I thought we was getting a little bit earlier. This is my favorite thing in a Pokemon game ever. The gift is access to the flying taxi. If you're used to Pokemon games, you're used to having HMs which teach you certain Pokemon moves to do things outside of combat. Usually in Pokemon, it's somewhere in the ballpark of Gym 5 through 6 where you first encounter the move Fly, which allows you to revisit places you've been through before. This one, they just give it to you before the first gym. I can't even explain how awesome that is in words, guys. Turtle Club, the fact that we can zip around this map and go anywhere that we've been to within reason. Check this out. Anywhere that you got this little bitty quill symbol is flyable. So the first Pokemon Center in this town, the second Pokemon Center in this town, the Wild Zone Motostoke, the meetup spot, Professor's house, our home, over here at Wedgehurst. All these are capabilities that we have access to now. And it means that when we need to zip around, go back and forth places, eventually when we get access to like the daycare center, the fact that we get this at the very beginning of the game, really super helpful. And that's the last little bit of plot here, guys. We got probably tomorrow we're gonna probably burst through Route 3, the Galar Mine, and probably get through Route 4 as well. So we didn't get much in the way of capturing things, and we knew that was going to happen today because there's just a whole lot of plot that happens in this town. And sometimes on stream, guys, it's going to be all we can do is kind of muddle through the plot. But I really do appreciate everybody who came in to watch, even though it was very action light. DB Master and Sykes for kind of coming in at the very, very beginning, and then Shadow sneaking in as well. Thank you guys. TJX Gaming 10YT, who popped in and said hello. And then Keo, who come in a little bit later and had to kind of, he had to get to school. So, everyone, thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. I'm going to be signing off and going to bed now. I'm going to have a good night. Everyone out there that's watching, and, anyone who's watching on playback, I hope you have a great weekend coming up. It's the middle of the week. Kind of hard to think about that sometimes, but it will be over just about as fast as it began. So thank you all for watching. Have a good one, and take care.